Jim Holland grew up in Norwich, Vermont, the youngest of three ski-jumping Olympian brothers.
My brothers were integral to me becoming a ski jumper. I looked up to my older brothers, and they were a few years ahead of me.
All three brothers began ski jumping in elementary school through the Ford Sayre ski program.
The number of Olympians that come from Norwich, Walter Malmquist, there was Jeff Hastings, and then my brother Mike. Going to the Olympics just seems like something you do. Just work hard and put in great deals of effort.
Ascending from Ford Sayre into Vermont's Bill Koch League, he was brought on to the U.S. team's development squad as he started college at UVM.
I was on the 10-year plan at the University of Vermont. I think I got named to the ski team when I was 18 or so. Like a lot of athletes, especially skiers, hard to go to college at the same time that you're competing. In March of 1987, when I was 19, I was training by myself. There was just a patch of ice on the takeoff of the jump, and you know that ice with water on it sticks. And I stuck dramatically and abruptly and came off the takeoff with one hand down on my ski and just was fighting and swimming to try to get my feet back under me, but just didn't quite pull it off. Landed just wrong and broke my back and bruised the lung and bruised my pancreas, broke some ribs, maybe broke my wrist. I think 12 months after my crash, I went and had my first jump. On that same jump, I got back on that horse. I won my first national championship after breaking my back and won 6 in total.
During the lead up to the '92 Winter Olympic Games, Jim drastically changed his technique. Instead of jumping the traditional way with skis straight and body extended forward, he turned the tips of his skis out like a V and caught the air to sail further than he ever had.
So in December, before the Olympics in Albertville, there was a World Cup in Thunder Bay. Thunder Bay was a breakthrough event for me, 1991.
Jim was on the podium with second place in the World Cup at Thunder Bay. And his 12th in those '92 Olympics still ranks among the top performances by any U.S. ski jumper. But 2 years later, another fall hurt his Lillehammer appearance. It was after these games that Jim decided to retire from ski jumping and returned to finish at UVM.
And I finished up college out to Park City in my car and made the drive with a huge pile of gear on top of the roof.
And sharing a dream for telemark skiing in the backcountry, headed for Utah with his longtime Norwich friend, John Bresee.
Was just looking for a new challenge, I guess, with the ability to ski tour when you can raise your heel and you have a climbing bar and you put a skin on a ski. You can hike up in the backcountry and ski fresh tracks, like you would if you were heli skiing, but without the big price tag. With no job or any real clear idea of what I was going to do when I grew up. I was always drawn to entrepreneurship. Lots of ski jumpers end up being entrepreneurs for some reason. I think there's a comfort with risk, and my business partner, John Bresee, was into that. We wanted to sell something associated with what we were passionate about on the internet, and we started selling avalanche gear and ski mountaineering gear over the internet. In the very, very beginning of the internet, it was 1995, 1996. There was some really good timing on our side. We were riding a wave.
Building a business from a garage into a giant e-commerce sporting good retailer, Holland and Bresee sold their majority interest in Backcountry.com in 2007. Jim is still involved as a minority shareholder and sits on the board of directors.
John, my business partner, went on to become the editor of Powder Magazine.
That year, the U.S. ski team abandoned ski jumping, and Jim stepped in to support the American national team.
And so I created a charitable trust, and we created a nonprofit, and it's called USA Nordic.
A nonprofit that runs men's and women's national jumping and Nordic Combined programs, keeping the sport alive.
The experience that I and my brothers had as a ski jumper was tremendously rewarding. I just learned focus and persistence, a belief that you can conquer things. Maybe you can see that I'm I'm a little stoic. The nerves in my face are affected. I have a tremor. About 8 years ago, I was diagnosed with Parkinson's. Quite a surprise for me, as you might imagine, just being a very active athlete and outdoorsman. Challenges are what keep you going, aren't they? I see the cure for Parkinson's as a gigantic mountain, right? And you can see the peak, and then you can imagine yourself on the peak. And then, in some cases there's a trail, in some cases it's a bushwhack, and it's a route finding experience. You just keep going, and you just keep putting one step in front of the other, and before you know it, you're somewhere. Before you know it, you climb the damn mountain.